What if the smallest person in the room is the only reason everyone survives? Not the strongest, not the smartest, but the one nobody notices. Stay till the end. This story might change how you see your own worth. Welcome to Storyzen. In a quiet valley town called Naruva, there lived a young boy named Rayon. Rayon wasn't known for strength. He wasn't the fastest, nor the most skilled. In fact, most people overlooked him. But Rayon had something rare, a heart that could never ignore someone in need. Rayon lived with his family near an old, massive tree that stood at the center of the village. Atat. Tre wasanti. Just wood and leaves. It was life. It gave shade to travelers, shelter to birds, and comfort to the entire village. Every morning, Rayon would walk a long path to collect water. One hot afternoon, while returning home with a heavy bucket, he heard a faint cry. Help! Please help! Rayon stopped. He looked around, but saw nothing. Then he looked up. Caught between the sharp branches of a dry bush was a small bird named Lyra. Her wings were tangled. She struggled to move. Please! I can't get out, she cried. Rayon looked at her. The thorns were sharp. The climb was risky, and he was already tired. But he didn't walk away. Don't worry, Rayon said softly. I'll help you. Lyra looked at him in surprise. But you're just a boy. You might get hurt. Rayon smiled slightly. Maybe, but that doesn't mean I can't help. Carefully, he climbed the bush. The thorns scratched his hands. Cut is skin, but he didn't stop. Slowly, patiently, he freed her wings. After some time, Lyra was finally free. She fluttered her wings, then looked at Rayon with gratitude. You saved me, she said. I'll never forget this. If you ever need help, just call my name. Rayon nodded, picked up his bucket, and quietly walked home. He didn't think much of it. To him, it was just the right thing to do. Days passed. Life went on. Until one morning, everything changed. A group of officials arrived in the village. They had orders to build a new road, and that road would go straight through the great tree. This tree will be cut down tomorrow, the leader announced. The village fell silent. Shock, fear, helplessness. That night, everyone gathered. Some cried. Some argued. Some gave up. If the tree goes, everything changes, one villager said. But what can we do? Another replied. Rayon sat quietly, listening, thinking. There had to be a way. And then he remembered Lyra. Without telling anyone, Rayon ran to the edge of the village. He looked toward the sky and called, Lyra, Lida, Lida. For a moment, nothing happened. Then suddenly, a flash of wings appeared. Lyra, Rayon. What's wrong? She asked. Rayon explained everything. The road, the tree, the danger. Lyra listened carefully. Then she said, I can't stop them alone, but I know who can help. And before Rayon could ask more, se flew Hawaii. Time passed. The sky darkened. Rayon waited, hoping he wasn't too late. Just before sunrise, a sound filled the sky. Not one bird, not 10, hundreds. Lyra had returned with her entire flock. We're ready, she said. Show us the tree. At sunrise, the workers arrived. Tools in hand, ready to begin. But before they could even start, the sky came alive. Birds swooped down from every direction. They circled, flapped, and created chaos. They didn't harm anyone, but they made it impossible to work. The workers shouted, tried to push them away, but there were too many. Suddenly, an elder from the village stepped forward. Stop, he said calmly. He looked at the leader and spoke. This tree is not just a tree. It is life. It is home. And today, even nature is trying to protect it. The leader looked around. At the birds, at the people, at the tree. He paused, then finally said, "We'll change the road." Relief spread across the village. The birds slowly flew away. Peace returned. The tree was saved. Later, Lyra landed beside Rayon. "You helped me once," she said. "Today, I returned a favor." Rayon smiled. That evening, the villagers gathered. They celebrated not just the tree, but something bigger. They realized something important. Great change doesn't always come from great power. Sometimes, it comes from one small act of kindness. Rayon, the boy nobody noticed, became the reason everything was saved. If this story made you realize your value, don't ignore that feeling. Share this with someone who thinks they're not enough. Subscribe to Storyzen, where small stories create big impact. And remember, you are never too small to make a big difference. See you in the next story.